Aris.
Hey. Hey.
Hi.
Hey, how are you?
Good. Thank you.
There you go. You smell my puppies? Yeah, you smell my puppies. Yeah.
He's a little excited today. Sorry,
You
Papa.
ready?
Yeah.
Hey, what
Come on.
happened?
Lay down, lay down, lay down. I'm pulling on this. It's that type of collar that tightens.
Oh.
Yeah.
Intro call.
I forgot his mask because we were in a rush.
Mhm.
But yeah, I wanted to talk about what happened the last time I was here
What happened?
with Karen.
Okay.
So I would like her information, her card, as well as, I don't really know her name, but the other person that was involved, the one who was in charge when you weren't there that day. So yeah, I would like their information, and then also whoever's above you, so that I can make a letter to who it needs to go go over what's happened between my time with BCFS and that encounter.
Okay.
And then as well, I have a meeting April 7th with Ina Manijeres, who is the one who, she was a representative who signed like in agreement with the PATH program, BCFES, at the university of, like at the university before it was implemented into the community college. At ease. Apollo, at ease. So I would really like you to be on that call, as well as Erica Buford. I actually met with Erica Buford in person 2 weeks ago. So she's aware of my current situation with the Palo Alto College and the accommodations and disability services lack of support in creating an accommodated curriculum for the vet tech program after over 2 years of me communicating and asking these resources to advocate for me, including BCFS and BCFES, which is the PATH program.
Yeah, the PATH program. So what?
And then as well as also being ageist, because I'm 25.
Okay.
And y'all only made contracts that were with an age limit to 24 when it comes to internships and opportunities. So that also disqualifies me, and I feel very discriminated against by all of these organizations because I am the top 10% of my community college due to my GPA. So it's not a matter of my competency or lack of knowledge of how these things work.
What
It's
do you
the
want?
lack of support
What do you want
every
my role?
time that I come and try to get resources and
What do you want
support
my role to
that I
be?
get discriminated against by you
What do you
guys
want my
because
role
I'm
to
vocal
be?
and advocate for myself.
No, absolutely. What do you want my role to be?
I want you to be I want you to be in that call and be in the advocacy side of a disabled former foster care college student,
Okay.
and do what you can do with your organization and the money and the grants that y'all get from the state to make sure that you're making room at the table for my demographic of foster kids and adopted youth, because I don't feel heard, seen, or supported by anybody. I've been doing all of this by myself. Before any of these programs were even implemented, I was going to college in 2014 at Palo Alto College. So it's not a matter of I don't know how to get there. I don't know how to what I'm doing. It's that when I ask y'all for help, you're not doing your job. Yet you're getting all this money and support from grants and other people that are supposed to represent my demographic.
So we get, yeah, and I understand where you're coming from. Absolutely, I understand where you're coming from. We get one grant, we get 10 stamped. Okay, and basically what we need to do is when it comes grant time to renew these grants, we need to advocate. Absolutely, see if we can stretch the bar a little bit, raise, open it up to a wider demographic.
So you need
Absolutely.
grievance departments, you need disability departments of your own entities that are not
And
resourcing
not-
with the
not so
school
much
and the city.
Not so much the grievance as it is just sitting down at the table and talking about it.
I've mentioned getting a suggestion box, whether it's complaints, feedback, suggestions, for the whole time that I've been at BCFS, whether it was at this building or the previous building. Not once have y'all ever taken my feedback on putting a box out there that people, if they can't tell you face to face because you're too intimidating, or they feel like it's intimidating for them to come and ask you for help first off, because that's a trauma response to what a lot of these kids have been through. So the fact that I've come to you for years and y'all haven't helped me, and I've told y'all what to put in if y'all don't want to listen to me face to face, put it in a box. It's like a comment section on a Zoom call. You don't want to say it up front, put it in the chat box. Put an actual box where people can come and drop their own feedback off. You shouldn't have to be told for years by your youth, who are more than competent, on offering these problems, but also potential solutions to the lack of communication going on between you and me as a youth and an authority. So you need to understand that and be more trauma informed when you're approaching my demographic. So the fact that there is no grievance process, the fact that there is no room for feedback or suggestions or ideas, unless we come and ask for you, which I knew you when you were run-of-the-mill type of staff here. So you got to move up your ranks. I've got to see you move up in ranks and do what? What are you doing for people like me? What are you doing for people like Jessica? What are you doing for people like April? April came and talked to you the last time I came and you did nothing for her. Okay. Nothing, absolutely nothing. I bring them back. April Thones. She remembers you.
Yeah, no, absolutely. We submitted her. The only thing that I could do for her was submit her. What did I do for her? Submit her.
You didn't bring any paperwork out. You didn't bring any paperwork out. She told me that you didn't bring any paperwork out.
Okay, so we can't go based on what she said. We can go based on what we worked on. And what we did was we worked on her.
Well, she has the emails and nobody responded to her. Okay. When I was trying to get in contact with Brandy Percival when she worked here about the ETV being extended because our state took forever to adopt that, which y'all should have been advocating that was a necessity. But no, who do you have out there and representing y'all? Y'all have money-hungry, power religious organizations that are in connections with all these other religious coalitions that are probably more centered around Republican support and those types of representatives than the type of representatives that we need. And you'd rather spend money on updating your facility and buying all this fancy stuff around here than actually give the money and allocate it to the kids that need it. Do you see the years that I have seen go by and how y'all have lacked the support necessary for the kids that I have brought here and even for myself? So don't stand there and tell me that you did something for her, because you didn't. She wound up into that pipeline of going to jail and having to go through all that stuff over a headlight because it was a racist town. We're dealing with more than you can even conceptualize. And when we come to you for help and the response is what I've gotten and what she's gotten and multiple other kids.
So what happened when you came in? You said there was an incident. What
there was an incident.
Okay. And what
so
happened?
I approached Karen and I asked her if you were here.
Okay.
The other lady interjected, asked me to come to the doorway because they were both sitting in her office, and said that David's not here today. I'm in charge. What do you need? So I asked for your information. She didn't even give me your proper email. I wasn't even gonna call because I knew we had an appointment today. And I was like asking Karen, because the last time I met Karen, we broke bread with each other. Y'all got to use a tax exemption and pay for a Chinese restaurant so that me and my boyfriend could get COVID shots, and y'all picked us up in the shuttle for all of that, for your paperwork to look nice and all that. But the next time I see her after the panel of trying to get more kids into education, the whole BCFS organization is like against me somehow because she flipped a freaking coin with me. I asked her.
What did she do?
She had so much attitude. I was asking her, I was like, you mentioned, because she's also from the Rio Grande Valley. I'm from the Rio Grande Valley too. This is when we ate together, we were talking about this. Okay. And she was telling me about how she got the position here at BCFS. It was through some lawyer and a connection, right? I was like, wow, like, how did you get the opportunity from down there? Like, I had to move all the way to San Antonio and convince Cameron County to put me into Bexar County foster care so that I could get more educational, like, opportunities. And here you are, working for an organization that's supposed to be supporting me, and you don't even have she didn't even have the real credentials. She's just using it as an externship, which yet again is a behavior of exploitation that we constantly go over in this demographic
so
of.
She got the position through an
She got a position. She got the connection of working and being moved up here through a lawyer of some sorts that she was working for, volunteering for. I don't know.
And you found this out how?
Because we sat together, my boyfriend, Nathan, Karen, we all ate.
And she let you know that she
told us this. Okay, yeah, like my boyfriend can even tell you too. So I was asking her, you know, is there any way that you can share that information so maybe that I can get a good reference and a connection, since I can't get any internships with the PATH program. I'm trying to use my resources, but I'm 25. So I can't change the policy and the contract that has already been made. So I went to her and asked her for her advice, since she was a student. And she was like, I got this job through my master's and bachelor's, ma'am. And she was just like really, really attitude ridden in her response, her facial features, her body language. And I told her that she didn't have to act like a bitch. I didn't say she was. I said, don't act like one. And then she says I said that after she said her grandmother had cancer. But I told her, you need to learn how to separate your personal life from your business life. That does not excuse your behavior. We go through stuff all the time in our personal lives. It's not okay for you to take it out on a foster youth.
Right.
And that's not acceptable. You having people here work like that and interact with your youth like that, and then she wants to come tell her to make me apologize to her, and then be intimidated and hovered over, arms crossed, so I stand up in her face, because she's not going to intimidate me. We're both adults now. I'm not underneath you, okay? You're not superior to me. I pay taxes, I pay a mortgage, I pay property taxes, okay? In my little district of the area that I go to, community college, little educational institutions that my taxes go to for the past 5 years, I have paid my way. Whether I get a tuition waiver or not, it does not matter. I am investing in myself and my education, and y'all are not supporting that through the way that you treat me and the way that you react to my feedback. So I would like y'all to work on that and show me a change in behavior, because I don't appreciate the way that I've been treated.
Okay. No, I understand.
And I don't want other kids to be treated like that either.
Sure. No, absolutely not. Absolutely not. Yeah. You're absolutely right. That happened. It shouldn't have happened. And I'm sorry that it did. And I will address it with
And I want her to apologize to me before I even come to a compromise of even reconsidering apologizing. I apologize for the way that escalated, but I don't apologize for what I said, because she was acting like a bitch. And there was no need for that. There was no need for that. I was asking for her help and her advice, and if she wants to react that way, that is not somebody that you should be having work with youth. It's not. And I will report her, and if this doesn't get to the proper people that it needs to get to, I'll go to the news media.
Okay.
I'll go to lawyers. I will escalate it.
And absolutely, you're going to have to do what you feel that you have to do. Absolutely. Absolutely. And I'm going to address it. I will say that it was unfortunate that you called her a bitch. Maybe she was acting like that. She probably was. I'm not gonna doubt you. I'm not going to say that you're wrong. But that it came to that, I do have an issue with that. I do have an issue with that.
Okay. And that's fine. I have an issue with y'all that I've been trying to resolve for literally years. So if you're going to allow one of your employees to disrespect me, the least of just saying the word bitch, if that makes y'all feel uncomfortable, that's not my problem.
It's not
my problem.
It's not that it makes me feel uncomfortable. It's that we have to resort to that. You know, that we have to resort to that. Because remember, we're all adults.
We are all adults.
You know, we're educated, okay? But we shouldn't have to resort to that. But absolutely, I will address it. I will address it. And of course, you know, you've got to do what you feel you've got to do is right. Absolutely. Absolutely. So you wanted her card, you wanted my card, you wanted Raquel's card. It was Raquel, right?
Raquel.
Okay, Raquel. Okay, I'll get you the cards. Yeah, not a problem.
And I want all of, like, I do want you to go to the meeting with Ina Manijeres, because I'm also going to try to get Erica Buford. But since y'all are the directors of these programs, y'all need to be in that meeting. It would be beneficial for everybody for y'all to be in that meeting.
Okay, and what role did you want me to play in that? As an advocate, right?
I mean, yeah, as an advocate, and you know, saying, you know, our grant doesn't support this type of departments that she's requesting. So maybe next fiscal year, or whenever the grant process of trying to get these grants again, if we could, you know, utilize our resources to make sure we get the funds to implement these departments.
So when it comes to grants, of course, and you know this, there's a chain of command. I've got to go through my chain of command. It's not something that I can just, you know, I'm not the one that signs the contracts.
Understand that.
I've got to go through my
I understand
chain of
that completely.
chain of
That's
command.
also why I'm going to the representative who
Sure.
signed off on these programs.
Sure.
And I
Sure,
want
I
her to
understand.
know how these programs are going after 2 years and the type of demographics that they're still lacking in.
Okay.
And it's just to help you. It's to help myself as well
Right.
and the next generations coming through this.
Right.
Because that's what this is about.
Right.
It's not about our organizations getting money and funding and this and that and the other. We need to allocate the money to the actual children and try to take as many barriers away as possible. You know, the red tape that they put around, oh, you got to do this, you got to go to these many things. It's not a transactional service. We are entitled to these benefits. And the fact that kids are even coming here, that they even know, that's another thing that we need to work on, is outreaching to the kids and letting them know this information, because they don't even know that these benefits are there. And that's not okay. And also encouraging them to not get adopted, because that's something that you even told me, because once they get adopted, they lose some of their benefits. So letting them know you have a choice, you have power, you have a voice in what is done in your life and how you move forward. Because right now, y'all are supporting kids being stagnant. Y'all are supporting a transactional, oh, we'll give you this and we'll help you, but you have to make our organization look good, because it's a business, and I understand that. But do not exploit us, especially kids out here who have done most of it themselves without having to ask for help. Because every time I did ask for help, it resorted in something negative. So my amygdala in my brain has associated this with trauma. And now every time I come here, I shake, because y'all did this to me. I'm a disabled former foster youth who decided to go to college, and I can't even get into a vet tech program because they won't accommodate me for a part-time schedule. But I'm disabled. I can't do a full-time schedule for anything. And I can't get y'all's support in that either. Can't get my school support, can't get yours or BCFES.
Okay.
For years. So excuse my outburst and calling somebody who was acting like a bitch, whether she wants to take it personal, change your behavior.
And I don't think that she was taking it personal, or that she took it personal. I don't know how she took it. It's just, I think that there's other ways that we can express ourselves. As adults, there's other ways that we can express ourselves.
So when a youth asks us for help to make them feel stupid for coming to you for help, is the status quo that you want to continue in the relationship between me and BCFS?
Well, I mean...
That's what I'm hearing.
No, because the thing is, you know what? You're rude. I can tell you, you know what? I can say, you're rude. You know what? You're not working with me. This is what I've done. This is what I've had to put up with, and I'll go to somebody else.
Oh, and she knows, and she gossips about me.
Right,
all of you do.
And
all
I'll
of
go
you
to,
do.
Wait a minute, hold on a second. And I'll go to somebody higher than you. And you're probably... Like
I'm
the
one
conversation,
person, you're a
wait
whole
minute,
organization.
But the thing is, the conversation that we're having
Bullying.
now...
I felt bullied by you and her and this whole organization.
Okay.
I feel like I'm being bullied.
Okay.
And
All
y'all
right.
are trying to defame my character, which is not okay with me.
Okay, well, that's not what we're trying to do, and I'm just trying to explain there was a different way that we could handle it, kind of like that we're conversing right now. You know, we're not. I'm not
Yeah,
calling
keeping
your
me
names.
in the front, away from everybody in the back.
Well, you have the dog.
And
I can't
segregating.
I can't.
I have a dog, so he's discriminating against my service
I
dog.
can't bring the dog
Okay.
back there. I can't take.
He can't
that
bring the dog back there.
And I know that you're recording.
Yeah.
I knew that you were recording. That's okay. Yeah.
That's fine.
No, that's fine.
That's totally
Yeah,
fine.
That's okay.
Yeah.
So let me go get the cards that you wanted. You let me know when this meeting is. I will talk to my supervisors and see what information I can divulge at this meeting, or if I can even attend it. I don't know what they're going to say.
Okay.
Okay. But let me go get you the cards, and I'll be right back.
Thanks.